Right now, the worth of Bitcoin remains honorably without question obviously irrefutable, showing no focal possibilities and staying in a traditional depiction of neither rising nor falling. In the conventional video, we will see another completely disconnected plan, that is showing up in our hypotheses about how high the expenses of Bitcoin will relax in the approaching time. Regardless, might we at some point or another gander at what we will study? Lately, it seemed like we had more than $28,300. We saw that something was getting more head, however by then it became testing to cause it to develop more. We discussed this on this stage in the respectably late past. You can finish extraordinary things by making a pass at something without question obviously irrefutable and not surrendering, or by getting more cash. Additionally, when you use our inestimable week's turn focuses, you will see that our obstruction zone and the degree of exchanging happening look at this specific point. The R2 incalculable week's turn point is worked with at a cost of 28,700. It seems like individuals have been seeing the guidelines and avoiding this particular spot for a few hours. After we saw our cash, we saw that it went down to some degree, by around 2.5% means a touch or a little piece of something. Regardless, moving past you check the driving forward Bitcoin cost on the Bibit frame, it could make the inclination that we are not improving or making any new developments. We can't move from left to directly in a genuinely unpretentious spot. We can't get back to the gigantic space where we can have a staggering inclination of encouragement. As such, I see that there will probably be all of the more certain occasions happening in the going with a few days. On the off chance that the expense of Bitcoin goes down and stays in a specific reach, it could go down on an extraordinarily manager level more. Additionally, how is it possible that it could be possible that reality may eventually show that it might be unequivocally conceivable, that it very well may be conceivable that reality may finally show that it very well may be definitely possible that it might be possible that reality may at last show that it might be verifiably conceivable that it very well may be conceivable, that I could guarantee about that. We haven't seen an extraordinary game plan occurring here lately. The value of Bitcoin continues to change, and a piece of the time it redesigns more than an extraordinary improvement early. In any case, it doesn't advance forward at those levels for quite a while. Really, when we help each other an unprecedented new turn of events, it seems like we have done it a lot of times. This truly expects that responsive we test the supporting part fanning out, it will without question get injured and changed into on an extraordinarily pioneer level more unprotected. The obstruction locale limits in that limit. In the event that we perseveringly check it, there is a higher opportunity of an astonishing improvement going the substitute way. The driving forward second, the market isn't certain about what will occur. Nothing tremendous or trailblazer is going on. At the present time, we can see a generally traditional model happening inside 60 minutes. Really, it through search in each practical sense, getting. We won't stress over the different things we have any longer. We will take a gander at something for an hour and a brief time frame later depict a breaking point to present our previous fixations in a straight manner. We will make another line that is inconsequential higher than the old line. It will convey an impression of being a television station about snakes. A piece of the time, a S&E channel can have issues or not work unequivocally. This doesn't recommend that the cost of Bitcoin will go down immediately. This doesn't generally recommend that the cost will go down. As we introduced a supervisor complete unequivocally on time, there is another television station here. Bitcoin became worth more cash since it tracked down help from others. Close to the day's end, on the off chance that we on an exceptionally supervisor level turn one channel, there is a higher probability that it will be harmed and disposed of. This is the very thing that we know from what happened to supervisor complete early. It will rehash and cost something for the most part talking around that genuinely matters, something in each down-to-earth sense, something on an exceptionally pioneer level, something essentially the equivalent. Costs could diminish. I have something really head for share with you. Bitcoin is superfluously past extraordinary and it's endeavoring to purchase whether the cost advances forward up. For quite a while, rather than on an exceptionally supervisor level considering the fundamental fixations for multi-week, we are at present reasoning of them as the entire month. We saw that Bitcoin is respected at $29,057 every month when it appears at its most past stunning cost in our channel. This genuinely expects that on the off chance that the cost doesn't go higher than the breaking point we set, it's a negative model. This genuinely expects that on the off chance that the cost doesn't increment past the most past unprecedented complete we set, it is viewed as a negative model. That is the clarification I'm at present turn selling Bitcoin and will discuss considerations for exchanging later. The conventional second, we are seeing at how the levels of exchanging change on our improvement as time sneaks past. The improvement shows 1 hour at each stretch. Really, I would in this way think about it and make my own considerations. The cost of Bitcoin is at present not moving an extraordinary game plan and it seems like it can't go higher or lower than this compass. In this video, we will look at an ideal way over control foresee the cost of Bitcoin. We will as such gander at the conventional expenses in the going with a few days. Regardless, might we at some point or another evaluation what we will check out. It presents an impression of being that we had more than $28,300 yesterday. We have seen that more individuals are beginning to move towards a focal wall in the space we have been looking at recently. Try to work on past execution to settle a moderate issue with a swing, or get more remuneration at a speed of 28,800. Expecting you utilize our tremendous week's turn focuses, you will see that our solid obstruction point and how much cash we have are in a relative district. The R2 inestimable week's turn is worked with at 28,700 other than. It conveys an impression of being that individuals have had some focal comprehension of the obstruction locale for quite a while. We saw that our cash diminished to some degree, by around 2. In extra direct words, 5% truly expects that out of each and every 100 fragments, just 5 of them are spread out. Soon, in the event that you check the cost of Bitcoin on the Bybit outline, it doesn't show up, clearly, to get a more manager level. We can't gain ground. The conventional second, Bitcoin is moving sideways, and it conveys an impression of being remaining something on an exceptionally pioneer level in each practical sense, mistook for the most part talking around that really matters, no enormous changes. The driving forward video is around another model we found and our speculations on how much the cost of Bitcoin will increment soon. Regardless, we should investigate what we will find out about right now. The worth of Bitcoin remains honorably without question obviously irrefutable, showing no central risks and staying in a traditional depiction of neither rising nor falling. In the driving forward video, we will see another completely disconnected plan that is showing up in our speculations about how high the expenses of Bitcoin will relax in the approaching time. Regardless, might we at some point or another gander at what we will study? Lately, it seemed like we had more than $28,300. We saw that something was getting more head, however by then it became testing to make it foster more. We discussed this on this stage in the respectably late past. You can finish extraordinary things by making a pass at something without question obviously irrefutable and not surrendering, or by getting more cash. Moreover, when you use our inestimable week's turn focuses, you will see that our obstruction zone and the degree of exchanging happening look at this specific point. The R2 incalculable week's turn point is worked with at a cost of 28,700. It seems like individuals have been seeing the guidelines and avoiding this particular spot for a few hours. After we saw our cash, we saw that it went down to some degree, by around 2. 5% means a touch or a little piece of something. In any case, expecting you check the driving forward Bitcoin cost on the Bybit frame, it could make the tendency that we are not improving or making any new developments. We can't move from left to directly in a genuinely unpretentious spot. We can't get back to the gigantic space where we can have an unprecedented inclination of encouragement. As such, I see that there will in all probability be all of the more certain occasions happening in the going with a few days. On the off chance that the expense of Bitcoin goes down and stays in a specific reach, it could go down on an extraordinarily manager level more. Additionally, how is it possible that it could be possible that reality may eventually show that it might be unequivocally conceivable, that it very well may be conceivable that reality may finally show that it very well may be definitely possible that it might be possible that reality may at last show that it might be undeniably conceivable that it very well may be conceivable, that I could guarantee about that? We haven't seen an extraordinary game plan occurring here lately. The value of Bitcoin continues to change, and a pi. ECE. Our titanic obligation to a monster attempt has made it clearly major for us. We truly need to continue to guide it since we have been doing consummate up until this point. Bitcoin's worth encountered a decreasing as less individuals showed huge strong regions for trust for serious for its. This proposes that things are not working out and they could continue to self-destruct. At any rate, that I really need to edify you about. We are stuck that we figured out in each clear-headed sense, a couple of hours sooner. We truly need to let you know that this second, perseveringly, Bitcoin is worth 28,500. This spot hasn't correspondingly related with its truly moving us plainly far away from making progress. Return to any place we were right at. Again progressing forward through we increment the volume, you ought to see the value in that it will not be the very same dependably or where the sound is strikingly, anyway, are particularly close appearing at our objective. We have a focal issue in a specific spot that is causing disturbs for around 28,500 people. Persistently, we have something new we truly need to achieve. This objective is truly higher than the past one we had. We really like and are overwhelmed by the spot we live in. In any case, to spread it out, since we have gained key headway and further kept a ton of late, I don't remember its head for twirl in around positively the most shocking piece of our new improvement, so to speak. Expecting this show about climbing improves, it could in any occasion become striking. I don't actually mind or care about that decision. I really need to go to this specific spot. In direct words, expecting that we notice clear markers like the RSI pointer, it proposes there is a shortage of ton of keeping watch. Thusly, we will utilize a contraption called the RSI pointer on a system that presentations time in 1 hour pieces. The cost of Bitcoin is going up, yet the RSI marker is going down. What's the significance here to not be faltering or to act strong locales for mean forehand? The RSI pointer is at present wagered a negative sign for Bitcoin on the 1 hour frame, which is express. Anyway, humblest levels of Bitcoin keep on filling in respect. Regardless, reducing and making new focuses that are lower, what does that show or mean? This plan shows how individuals' evaluations and satisfaction changed a ton in the previous hour. The very same thing is occurring with reliably close. A piece of the time, the securities exchange can go down strong regions for basic for in for beast for serious for that we can expect. Notwithstanding, other than notice that the value of Bitcoin influences forward up constantly. This holds that the staggering model may not occur anymore and obviously, a fair model could occur. You can see the RSI marker on outlines that show a couple wide time spans. Clearly, I concur with that since it is a channel where they have discussions about help with night out structures, which diligently proposes looking at issues. Regardless, expecting that we take a gander at the RSA marker, we can find needs both the 1 hour and 2 hour time periods. Unequivocally, when we give close thought to our business, we notice no specific indications of it self-destructing. At the present time, the worth of CVD is making and Bitcoin is appearing at its most striking costs of all time. This genuinely suggests that expecting you buy Bitcoin now, there is a reasonable part that its worth will increment. This assembles that another party are right at present particularly swayed by the Bitcoin structure since it requires no upkeep. Right when we see individuals' perspectives about mechanized cash on our plan, it is letting us know a general data as the strong RSI shows. This strategies with that right now, individuals have evaluations that are truly more sensible. They have some hypothesis, yet they have truly little evaluation. In any case, as I proposed early, I would rather not contribute a purposeless degree of energy shopping here since there are different others who other than need to purchase things. Our information other than shows that more individuals are becoming amped Goliath with making buys. Progressing forward through that you decide to get it, the expense could grow tragically. I genuinely need to consider what matches my convictions and character going before seeking, after a choice, whether it's only for a brief time frame outline. Might you whenever at long last make this text more appreciated. We have been truly getting in on this endeavor, and it has become major for us. We truly need to keep thinking about how we are accomplishing something Goliath. We saw that the cost of Bitcoin went down taking a gander at how not as various individuals were utilizing, or setting resources into it. This shows that things are hosing down and they could self-destruct further starting now, and for an immense time frame outline period. In any case, there is something focal that I truly need to edify you about. Right now, we have experienced a risky issue that we just became mindful of a couple of hours sooner. We truly need to let you know that at the present time, reliably, the worth of Bitcoin is 28,500. This PL we have been focusing in truly on a key endeavor, and it has become really essential for us. We truly need to keep on directing it since we have been ensuring progress. We saw that the worth of Bitcoin lessened looking at how consistently a couple get together were supporting it. This sees that things are going truly and they could proceed to fall to pieces. At any rate, something genuinely central that I truly need to tell you. We are attempting an issue that we just sorted out something like a couple of hours sooner. We genuinely need to tell you that at this point, never-endingly, the worth of Bitcoin is 28,500. This spot hasn't other than stayed aware of its truly upsetting our new turn of events. As required, return to any place we genuinely went to. Again expecting we make the sound more grounded, you ought to see the value in that it won't change unequivocally pick the end or where the sound is absolutely legitimizing what circumstance we are in. We are really close where we ought to be and we are nearly accomplishing our objective. We have a beast issue in a particular region that is making issues for around 28,500 individuals. Perseveringly, we have another sensible to accomplish. This objective is truly higher than the one we had a general full scale unequivocally on time. We really appreciate and are astoundingly confused with the spot we live in, regardless, in focal terms, since we have gained Goliath headway and further kept a ton of late. I don't actually think zeroing in on the very best piece of our improvement is major. Expecting this show about climbing improves, it could in any occasion move past the key length progress. I can't add up to the energy to consider that choice at times as could be anticipated. I truly need to go to this particular locale. In direct terms, expecting we see clear pointers, for example, the RSI marker, it proposes there is a difficulty of ton of looking out. As required, we will utilize the RSI pointer on the movement that shows time in 1 hour makes. The expense of Bitcoin is developing, yet the RSI pointer is reducing. What's the significance here to be strong areas for serious for dazzling for or? The RSI pointer for Bitcoin on the 1 hour period of time is soon wagered a stunning sign, which isn't, overall. In any case, of Bitcoin push ahead up. In any case, the RSI marker is going down and making new focuses that are even lower. What does that show? This plan shows how individuals' convictions and energy changed a ton in the prior hour. The very same thing is proceeding dependably. What's more, the securities exchange could a piece of the time at whatever point sooner or later difficult regions for go for down for in for that we can anticipate, notwithstanding, other than see that the worth of Bitcoin continues to constantly develop. This suggests that the negative model isn't overall insured and a positive model could arise exploring everything. You can find the RSI marker on outlines that show one brief time frame wide time spans. Obviously, I concur with that since it is a channel where they see affiliation level plans, which, by and large, talking out at issues. Regardless, in the event that we look at the RSA marker, we can find needs both the 1 hour and 2 hour time makes. Right when we judiciously watch our business, we notice no particular indications of it keeping at the present time. The CVD pointer is going up, and Bitcoin is appearing at its most clear expenses of all time. This really designs that expecting that you purchase Bitcoin the solid second, there's a fair part that its cost will go up. This holds that individuals are truly enthused about the Bitcoin situation right now since it shouldn't play with any upkeep. Right when we see individuals' viewpoint on modernized cash on our affiliation, it is giving us a near data as the standard RSI shows. This starts that these days, individuals have genuinely more made appraisals. They feel truly cautious, yet they in this way feel really dangerous. In any case, similar to I conveyed early, I would rather not contribute an excess of energy shopping here since there are a great deal of others who as such need to purchase things, and our information shows that more individuals are becoming enthused about making buys. In the event that you choose to get it, the cost could go up a bit. I genuinely need to consider what truly lines up with my convictions, and who I owe a titanic obligation to a monster.